What's the first thing that you would do if you were in an Uber or hitchhiking and you felt like the driver was about to kidnap you? I would most definitely video or call, try and get it to where I can record in any way. I'd hope that it would help my family and the authorities find me. Sadly, in this case, we have his voice, we have him on recording, but we don't have him. And this is the case of Amber Tucaroo. Welcome back to TCB, True Crime with Bree. Let's get right into it. Amber was the only girl of her family. She had 4 brothers. She was her mama's baby girl. She had a little boy as well, and they looked a lot alike, as you can see. She told her mom that she was taking a weekend trip in August of 2010 and disappeared, and she has not been seen since. She was with a friend heading to Edmonton in Edmonton, Canada, Edmington. Her mom had a bad feeling about this trip and honestly didn't really want her to go, but she told her mom it's only 2 sleeps, and that's a quote. They stayed at a motel in Nisku, just outside of the city. Her mom said the first day she was in constant communication with Amber, so after she couldn't get a hold of her the next morning, she was immediately worried. She always told Amber not to hitchhike or ride with strangers, just like any mother does. But she also said that if she does, and because kids will do things that you tell them not to do, so she said if you ever do choose to hitchhike or ride with a stranger and you felt like you were in danger, to pretend like you're on the phone with someone, and it will, let them know that someone else knows where you are. It's actually eerie to know that she told her daughter that, sadly. I truly think that mothers have intuitions like no other, because sadly, Amber would end up in the very same situation her mother was warning her about. Her mom doesn't know how or why, but Amber got in the car with a random man. She made a very real call, though, and it was being recorded on the other line. The police sadly didn't take her case serious and thought she just ran off until 2 years later when they released the audio recording of Amber. Amber was only 20 years old. Her birthday was January 3rd, 1990. She was actually adopted by her bio mom's cousin, the Tucaroos. Her mother had a nickname, Tussie or Tootsie. I'm not sure which one. In the sake of this video, we're going to be calling her mom Tussie because I do think that's what she goes by. She was from Fort Chipman, and she was a part of the First Nation, which is Indigenous people, and they stand for overall love. She was protected and very much loved by her family and her community. She loved to sing and dance, and she actually wanted to be famous when she was a little girl. She had her son, Jacob, and her living situation after she had Jacob was kind of up and down. She was very independent and wanted to do things on her own. She actually lived in a women's shelter 3 times. Her family wants everyone to know that this was only because she wanted to be independent. She loved her family. It was not like she wasn't welcome or didn't have a place to go. Sometimes you love your family, but you can't live with them, and I understand that. I don't know if that's the reason, and I don't know too much details of why she wasn't living with her family, but I completely get loving your family but not wanting to live with them. At Unity House is where Unity House was one of the shelters she was staying in. And at Unity House is where she met Evangeline. Evangeline is a key part of the story. I have also seen that Evangeline may not even be her name. It might be an alias. No one 100% knows her name that I can see. Amber and Evangeline became friends, and they are the friends that took the trip to Edmonton together. They also brought Jacob, and Jacob was left behind with Evangeline in the hotel when Amber got in the car with the stranger. Edmonton was like going to their nearest big city, and they stayed in Nisku, 30 minutes south of the city, for a cheaper hotel. But the flight still cost money, the hotel still cost money. I don't know if her mom ever addressed where she got this money to go, but I feel like that could be a lead as well. I'm assuming they didn't have a lot of money, though, hence the hitchhiking, and they definitely didn't have money to rent a car, so they were relying on public transportation once they got to Nisku to get back to the city, which, like I said, Nisku is about 30 minutes south of Edmonton. And less than a day after they get there, she disappears. A lot of missing information, like honestly, there's so much missing information. There's multiple stories told. August 18th might have been whenever she went missing, from 7 to 8 p.m. But they had already went to Edmonton before this, and they came back to the hotel, I'm assuming because maybe Jacob was fussy or something, and Amber wanted to go back to the city alone, is what Evangeline, air quotes, says to the police. She left Jacob with Evangeline, and I don't know if that's like out of her characteristic, but I just find that strange too, that she would leave her son, who she didn't even know Evangeline that well or that long. We know she hitchhiked. We know hitchhiking statistics. Tootsie tried calling Evangeline, and Evangeline told her that Jacob and Amber were asleep that night that she had tried to call, and that was after Amber was already gone. But I get it, because she might have been trying to, just cover for her friend. Her friend's out having a good time, and her mom calls. She doesn't want to get her in trouble with her mom. It's actually appalling at the lack of urgency for all missing Indigenous people, especially Indigenous women. The stereotypes of, oh, they have a reputation for partying or they're out partying is absolute bullshit. The first 48 hours are the most important and critical time to search for a missing person. On the 20th, they added her to the missing persons list, but they didn't really, do anything else. This was the only thing that the police did. Literally the only thing that the police did. Her mom and her friend called every single day to check on Amber's case and see where the police had gotten in the investigation. They often were met with voicemails or just not responded to at all, not called back at all. The lack of urgency, the lack of care. I mean, imagine you're a mother and you just can sense that the police do not care that your child is missing. Like, I cannot even imagine. And I know this is about to piss everyone off, because it pissed me the hell off. 2 weeks later, they removed her from the missing persons list. A press release says that they had reasons to believe that she wasn't in danger, like almost alluding to the fact that they had talked to her. They had received a tip saying that someone had seen her, a tip that they never followed up on. They never found the person who made this tip. And I wish I could say that that's all that they did, but not only did they, disregard her name from the missing persons list because of a shitty ass tip, but they also decided to destroy her suitcase and her belongings instead of returning them to her family. Her parents knew what they had ahead of them. They knew the statistics of unsolved murders on Indigenous women. They knew the statistics for unsolved murders on Indigenous people throughout Canada. And they knew that she was now another stolen sister, sadly. Sadly, they knew how it was going to end. They knew that they were going to be finding her body. And April 2012, they got a call. Police now believed she was a victim of foul play. So this is 2012. This is 2 years after she had went missing. Please listen to the video closely.
You better not be taking me anywhere I don't want to go. I want to go into the city.
You can tell listening to Amber Tucaroo's last phone call.
No, we're not. And where are these roads going to?
She actually called her brother, who was in jail. Because she called the jail, the message was recorded. The call was over 17 minutes long, but only a short portion was ever released to the public. Things I noted while listening was Amber seemed loopy to me personally. This is my opinion. I never bash anyone. I want to go off facts to help as best I can. She seemed to know that the driver was going the wrong way. I think she was pretending to be on the phone because she's repeating what he says. Are you fucking kidding me? No, I'm not fucking kidding you. Also stood out to me. I think after this was when he changed his nice guy persona and attacked Amber. Like for part 2. Thanks for listening to TCB. Bye.